Welcome, everyone. We starting here time now. I appreciate everybody's time. This is Eretmis Cyber Chat. If you're new to the family, we do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And tonight, we'll be discussing our new cybersecurity internship / workshop that we do every other month. And we still have like a cohort that is about to graduate very soon. There are some of them on here who can speak to the program. We will discuss the details about it. But before then, mostly we'll start with cybersecurity news for the week. So we will jump into that real quick shortly. I appreciate everybody's time. Like I always say, Friday night, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to develop yourself as a professional and also to grow and meet your expectations and aspirations as a working cybersecurity professional or an aspiring security professional. And we will try our best to make sure that your time that you spend with us this evening, you are going to gain something out of it. So little housekeeping. So for the discussions, everybody is invited to join. If you want to ask a question or you want to make a contribution, you raise your virtual hand and we'll give you the floor and you'll be able to ask your questions or make your contribution, right? So I appreciate everybody's time. We are starting here time shortly. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then we will kick it from here. But before we start, if there are any questions or concerns, we can address that before we roll into that. And show by your virtual hand how many people are in the current internship / workshop program that we're running, and the previous student as well. I know I've seen like a couple on here. Yeah, Brian. Anybody else? Oh, Eric. Yeah, Eric from the very first one. Michael. Okay, Michael is on here.
Yeah, Randall from November.
Oh, Randall. Okay.
George.
George. Yeah, George. I'm going to put George on the spot. George. Okay, thank you. I cannot. Okay, it's also on here. I'm gonna.
Michael Brefo is here.
Okay, Michael. Oh, Surah, Isaiah. Okay.
Ikenna is here. Good evening, everyone.
Okay. Great. And I know like there are a couple on here who are still coming in and joining. So reason why I was asking for some of the participants or previous students who were in that program and then the ones who are currently in it is to just to speak to like what goes into the program and what we are doing now. So I think I'll probably let Brian speak a little bit about what we are doing, and then everybody else can chime in who has been in the program. But first, we are going to roll into the program first, discuss the details of it. And then we will have students who are previously in it, discuss some of the things that we are doing in there that they like. And, and also those, I think George got a job house in the program. So he will speak to what he's doing now currently on the job, and then also what we are doing in the program and how that is helping him out, or like how that helped in him acquiring his first cybersecurity job. So we are going to start here shortly. Please bear with me. All right, everyone. So tonight we're going to be launching of our new cybersecurity workshop / internship. And we are going to look at the fine print of what is going to go into this program. I am Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm a former United States Army captain. I'm a cybersecurity expert, CEO of Eretmis Inc., Eretmis Academy, and I've been in IT industry in and out for almost like 22 years, originally from Ghana. And you are welcome to Eretmis Academy. This is where we train cybersecurity professionals. It's a big family. This is a place for us to learn and grow. And then also it's a safe place for you to learn, make mistakes, and for you to be able to acquire the knowledge and skills you need to go out there and shine as a security professional. So we are a very supportive group. If you are new to the group, very supportive. We help everybody out, whether you're on the job or you are now trying to get onto the job market in the security side. So we appreciate everybody's time. We are transmitting live on YouTube as well. And if you're on YouTube, or for our folks who might be watching us from YouTube, you can also post your questions in the YouTube chat and we will be able to take a look at it as we move forward, right? So we will start with cyber news, like we've, the new segment that we've added to Eretmis chat. So with cyber news today, we are looking at the White House is adding more money to their budgets. And guess what? They are also adding money to the cybersecurity budgets for the nation. So the White House has added 6.9. They published their 6.9 trillion budget, and as part of that, they've increased the cybersecurity spending as well, right? So that goes to tell you that the government is taking security seriously, investing more in cybersecurity, and then also goes to show you that, you know, more cybersecurity professionals are going to be employed on that side. More cybersecurity systems and softwares are going to be purchased. But then the most important, you need people to manage your systems and like whatever that you are going to purchase and use in terms of helping secure your infrastructure. So this money, the added 145 million to the cyber budget obviously goes to CISA. That is the bureau in charge of cybersecurity for the country, which falls under Department of Commerce, right? That is the overall umbrella under which everything we do cybersecurity goes under. So good news, more money being added to the cybersecurity side of the house, and that means more cybersecurity folks are going to be employed. And it's not like cybersecurity jobs are not there. There are almost 700 plus cybersecurity, on-field cybersecurity jobs in the United States currently. So that number obviously is going to go up, mostly on the government side of the house, right? So you can look more into this and look at where most of this spending is going to go. The next in the list of news, cybersecurity news, is Chat GPT, right? Chat GPT. We talked about it in our last cyber chat. A very wonderful tool, a very wonderful AI tool that is going to do great things, most especially in the security side. We looked at the good and the bad, right? Whilst we are trying to use it for good, attackers will also try to use it for bad. This app can write scripts, right? You can use it for so many things. Attackers can also use it for so many things. But now, reason why it is in the news again, it's been in the news and trending for a while. The reason why it's in the news is that most cybersecurity tools and platforms are trying to integrate Chat GPT into their platform, and they are doing that because it is going to help their platform to become better, and then also their users will be able to have, you know, the best of both worlds. So an example of some of the companies that are doing this is Accenture is one. I know most people who've been in security for a while. Accenture is one of the big players. They are looking into integrating Chat GPT into their platform. Logpoint is also one, integrating Chat GPT, and then also Armor is one. So there are a whole list of them. We could only add 3, but that goes to show you that, you know, AI is now kind of like the trend that everybody's going at, but that also calls for, even with Chat GPT itself, it requires some security, right? So we cannot do away with security regardless of how well. So like the more we develop or the more advanced we become, the more vulnerable we become, right? So security is always going to be in the forefront, but now it is going hand in hand with AI, right? AI needs security, security needs AI. So this is just one of the news that is out there as well. So you can dig more into this also. And if you didn't, you were not part of Cyber Chat last 2 weeks when we talked about Chat GPT, you can go to our YouTube channel and take a look at it. It's a really awesome tool, right? Very simple to use, but you can use it for a lot of things. So for good or for bad, but for us as security professionals who want to protect ourselves and our companies and our families, we are going to use it for good, right? It's a really, really, really awesome tool. So please check it out if you haven't already, right? And so we are going to move into the launching of our new cybersecurity workshop and internship. So this program, the cybersecurity workshop and internship, is one of our big programs that we run yearly, not yearly, every other month, right? Throughout the year was what I wanted to say. And the idea behind it was that, you know, most schools, traditional schools and non-traditional schools like boot camps, right? They'll train students. So you have the knowledge and you have some skill, but then to bridge that experience gap, right? Most people get lost as to what really goes on the job. What are you going to do as a cybersecurity professional? Most people don't know it, right? Some people take certifications, and once you have the certification, but then during interviews, you realize that you are lacking a lot in terms of what goes on the job. So this program was put together to help bridge that gap, right? So from the knowledge and the experience piece, or the knowledge and the skill, right, piece, we are bridging that gap between those two, right? That way, when you go for interviews, you can speak to things that you've done, right? Projects that you've worked on, not things that you read in a book or somebody told you, right? So the idea behind the workshop and internship program is to have you work on real cybersecurity projects from one of our two sister companies. We used to have 3 companies. We have 2. We'll be adding another, company to it. But you are going to be working on real cybersecurity projects that you can speak to, right? And that is also going to count towards your experience working in the cybersecurity field. So your experience in cybersecurity doesn't necessarily have to be paid experience, right? If you do internships, apprenticeships, workshops, all of that is going to count towards your experience. And also during interviews, if they ask you, maybe probably what is your experience working on incident response or working in an incident response setting, you can speak to that because you've actually done it, right? So you're not trying to remember anything. You are just saying what you've done, right? So that was the goal behind this whole program. And it has really changed the landscape in terms of training and, working or producing cybersecurity professionals who are up to speed and who can hit the ground running in the security industry. So before we even move on into the details, we have current students who are in this program who will be graduating in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We have some past students who went through this, who are currently working and using, most of the things that they working on similar projects that they worked on during this program. So we are going to, open the floor for any of these students, current students. I know our current students, I just saw Brian on there, who are current interns. That is what I'll say. Brian is on here. There are a couple of them on here. So I'll let Brian go first. He can talk about some of the projects they are working on, how it's going, right? And his whole general experience with this program before we move into the details of the program and what goes into it. And then we'll look at the projects or the curriculum that you're working on, right? So I'm going to leave the floor for Brian. And then we have some other folks also talk about the experience with this program, and we will discuss the remainder of what really goes into this program as well. So Brian, if you are able to speak, I'm going to give you the floor.
Hello, Dr. Du, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Dr. Du, for allowing me to speak. Thank you for putting together this program. And I also would like to thank the people that are on here today on this webinar, listening to this information. I don't even know where to start. I will just say my personal story. I was looking for ways to get into cybersecurity, and I kept searching and searching and searching. Found some different programs, signed up for them, tried to call the people, wouldn't get called back. Kept calling and calling, would never get a call back, not even an email. Came across Dr. Du's YouTube page talking about different things with PCI, SOC 1, SOC 2, cybersecurity analyst, and it really piqued my interest. At first, when I seen the pages, I was skeptical, like most people can be. But what happened was I just kept digging in, and I decided to give him a call one day, and he answered the phone. That was one of the most surprising things to me, is that he answered the phone. And that right there meant something to me. So I decided to get into the program. And another thing that made a very big difference to me is not only did he answer the phone, there was one time that he didn't answer the phone, but the main thing he did is he got back to me. That right there was integrity to me. That right there showed me that he was serious about what he's doing and that he was legit about what he was doing. And that sold me. So once I got into the program, to speak on the program, I'll just say this. You're going to learn the fundamentals of cybersecurity, not just one little thing. He's going to give you a lot of things that you're going to learn, and not just learn, but put your hands to it and actually deep dive into this internship and really experience it like you are really working. And it's important that you take this very seriously, because if you take this seriously, you will actually be working in this internship using your knowledge, using your skills, developing more skills to get the projects done that need to be done. And when you do that, you will find yourself knowing more, doing more, and becoming a better cybersecurity professional. And I mean, like I said, I'm just ecstatic about the whole program because I've learned so much in so little time. And all that you learn in this program, you will be able to get over 70% of the jobs in cybersecurity. There are some that do a lot with coding and stuff that he doesn't touch on too much about that, but all the other stuff you'll be able to learn when it comes to cybersecurity, that you will for sure be able to get a job. But it's up to you. It's not that you take the internship and then you automatically get a job. You have to put the work in, and you have to do the projects. You have to listen to the advice. You have to want to be mentored. You have to got to be teachable. And if you do all those things, and then you start putting in your resumes, you'll start getting the calls, and it's just a matter of time. It is a numbers game in. It's just a matter of time that if you take that knowledge that you learn in this internship, that you take the knowledge, you will get a job through this program. And the resources are there, the help is there, and that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Like I said, it's been mind-blowing, amazing to me, and I know there's other people that can speak on it, but just my personal experience. Like I said, the most important thing is that there was communication involved with Dr. Adu that sold me on everything. That was amazing to me. Thank you, Dr. Du.
Thank you, Brian. Anybody else from Brian's cohort? I think there are a couple of them on here. Bernard, is Bernard in? I'm not sure if Bernard is in Brian's cohort. Go ahead, Bernard. Oh, Bernard had his hand up. Okay, Isaiah, go ahead.
Dr. Edu, I thought you were, initially you asked if this is the first time you are coming into the internship program. That's why I raised my hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine.
So, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Seth, I'm not sure if Seth is part of Brian's cohort.
I'm part of them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, I'm part of them. All right, thank you, Dr. Edu. I've been part with the group, and it's been so helpful because, as Dr. Edu said, we are working on real companies. The companies are in operation, and we are working with them. Now, what basically, or professional-wise, what we are doing is, initially, there was a first group that established a baseline for these companies. We came in and using the NIST SP800 and the CIS controls, we built upon establishing a baseline for these companies with regards to their security posture. And from there, we've been developing some policies that previously they were not having. We have come in to draft certain policies for them, which in effect is helping these companies. So we've worked on real-time programs for these companies. We had the opportunity to speak with reps from these companies to give us realistically what is happening in the company, and we're getting some information from which we carried on from there. So these companies are in operation, and we are working with them to make sure the activities they are carrying out are being protected. People's personal information and their payment card systems and everything are being protected. So this is what I can say about what we are doing. Thank you, Dr. Edu.
Okay, Seth, appreciate your time. Anybody else from Seth's cohort and Brian's cohort? Okay, George. So go ahead, George. And I'll have George. So a little background to George. Maybe probably he can speak for himself, but George is an RN. He was a traveling nurse, right? Switched into security. Started the internship/workshop like everybody else. But George is one of those lucky ones who, he was pushing really hard, applying for jobs whilst he was in the program. So he has landed a job already. He's working. I'll let George speak to, how the internship, maybe the little that he had done that time. I think it was 3 weeks into it when he started, applying for jobs. But then I think he had some security. He took security plus previously, not through us, but maybe through self-study. I don't really know about that aspect of it, but he came to us to take this program, and George can speak to maybe probably give us some little insight into how it helped during interviews and then also on the job. What is he doing now as compared to what we are doing in the internship? Is he really bringing anything from the internship onto the job that is helping him? So George, you have the floor. Maybe you can probably, tell your story better than I did.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Edu. I want to thank you for changing my life. I couldn't believe it, but it's happening. And so I was one of the biggest skeptic of trying to get these opportunities, researching everywhere. And then I saw Eretmis on YouTube, on the websites, and I said, okay, let me give it a shot. So I applied, and then there was an internship. But before that, I spoke to him, and I told him my plight, that I want to get into cybersecurity. I'm a traveling nurse, but I'm passionate about IT and cybersecurity. And he said, oh, surprisingly, he said, I'll get a job before the internship. And I didn't believe it, but it did happen. So we started the internship. We went from week one, started learning about the beginning of building up the cybersecurity program. The following week, we learned about the MITRE attack. Everything was going on. And I said, no, let me keep applying for jobs whilst we're doing everything. And so and then I'll tell him I have an interview, and then we will speak for a little while. He'll give me points, and then I'll go on the interview. I'll miss some, and I'll keep on persisting. And then I got one, and then it was a hospital, and they needed a cybersecurity GRC analyst. So I got the job, and when I got in the job, I realized everything he gave us, Excel templates on CIS, NIST, everything, MITRE attack, I'm using them because I thought cybersecurity was about hacking and using coding, using firewalls. I mean, going technical, but it's not necessarily technical. It's about the experience of cybersecurity in different aspects of cybersecurity. So his internship, I want to finish the internship, but I just got a job and I'm not able to continue. I'm trying to complete it because it's so valuable to me that I don't want to miss it. But I'm just swamped with workload at work. When I used to ask him about mapping. Now, because of that opportunity, I am being tasked with GRC mapping of the various regulatory compliances we use at the hospital, be it HIPAA, high-tech, all the PCI DSS, all of that, and I'm mapping it to their policies using an Excel sheet. And so it's going to be a long-term project. And obviously, all that I got from the internship. So it's so valuable. It's not easy, but it's doable. And I can't believe it. I just closed from work. I'm in traffic going home in cybersecurity. I go to the hospital, I look at the nurses, and I can't believe it. As a nurse, watching them working whilst I am in cybersecurity, it's mind-blowing. I mean, so the thing is, like you said, it's not easy, but if you do it, it's on the job. It shows. I mean, the templates it gives us to use for doing the work, talking to people, teamwork. It's very important. And the way he created a program makes you all around, because now I have built good teamwork with my people. They want to put me on the security engineer opportunity by teaching me how to use their firewalls, their endpoints, their DLPs, and because I have some knowledge on that. So now they put me on security meetings. So when they're talking about their security posture and everything, I'm asking questions. I mean, they know that I'm all around and I'm not just GRC. The security architect told me, I want you on board. And so he started giving me the models to start learning one of their firewalls. So, I mean, I want to thank him, and I'm driving, but I'm excited about telling everybody that this is real. I just can't believe it. It's only a month ago that I got this opportunity. I've not worked as a nurse yet. I'm trying to work on the weekends, but I don't have the time because this is mind-boggling to me. So I want to inspire everybody. We need this mentorship to be able to do it. It's not easy, but it's doable. And to change your life in a few months to come, the opportunities are endless. So that's what I want to say to everybody. Thank you, Dr. Edu, for the opportunity.
All right, George. Thank you. Anybody else from George's cohort? So George and Brian are in the same cohort. Anybody else? I mean, there are so many names on here, so I can probably have to scroll through and just put somebody on there. Still can't make a lot of the folks on here out. I see Allison. Is it Allison from our previous internship?
No.
Oh, okay. And Eric. Okay, no, Michael. I'll have Michael go. So Michael Mills. Michael is in the current, he's in the current internship that is about to graduate. Are you still on there, Michael?
Yeah, I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is Michael here. Of course, they've said it all. If I say I'm going to continue, probably I can talk for the next hour. But just to touch on something different that they did not, is the way the internship is kind of designed, right? It's on the weekends, what we're doing right now. He will assign you to groups. So you have like a team lead. So what George was talking about, getting an opportunity to work in a team setting, meeting and at your own personal time with the group and just working and building your relationship with teams, getting that team experience is very, very huge. And also, I know sometimes life happens, on the weekends, people are busy, they cannot join. Every single class is recorded, so you can go back and play. That's one thing that I really, really do like because, like I said, life happens. If you're not able to join for one particular week, it's always recorded and you can go back, play it. You can pause it, digest it, do whatever you want to it. And I believe you can even have access to it for as long as you want. So yeah, it's very good. He's very experienced and he also gives an opportunity for one-on-one time. If there's something that you don't understand, he can probably shoot him an email. He'll get back to you, like if you want any personal time. And one thing I also wanted to touch is this, the opportunity and experience to work with real life organizations. So that companies that we're partnering with, I know CEOs are very busy. One highlight of it was their CEO actually joined our call to explain to us about their company. I know it's very rare to have a whole CEO of a company join and, kind of speak to you about their company, what they do and stuff like that. I think it was one of my highlights. I was very, very impressed about what happened. So like I said, if I go on, I can talk for the next hour. Just wanted to highlight some few stuff that the other team were not, my other group members were able to bring. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
All right, Michael. So there are a whole list of previous students and like the current group, I think they are almost like 30 or thereabout. And we can go on and on and on, but that really isn't the point. Everybody who spoke, the idea behind that was to give you a picture of, so for anybody who is new, to give you a picture of what goes on in the program. And I'm still going to explain what goes into it. The intent of this is really not to sell you anything, right? But just to let you know there is an avenue and opportunity for you to be able to bridge the gap between, learning stuff on the theoretical side and then also actually doing it, right? So in Cybersecurity Week, we have something that we call KSA. It's knowledge, skill, and abilities, right? And mostly what I tell people is for folks who thinks or who will think, hey, I go to interviews and I'm not doing that well. Maybe probably you did self-study. You took Security Plus, you took CISSP, you took, name it, all the certifications. Well, you can take all those certifications, but then that shows that you've actually taken the initiative, right? But actually what happens on the job is a bit different because now you are at the knowledge side of the equation still. To move into the skill portion, you have to do something, right? So, but then you cannot move into skill without the knowledge. So it's KSA, you cannot move from, just move straight into the skill portion, right? So when people say, hey, I just want to get the skills, and everything is going to fall in place, you cannot skip one. So the knowledge piece is very critical. And what we do in the internship is more of a combination of internship and workshop and apprenticeship, because with apprenticeship, we actually teach you the projects you are going to work on, and then you go work on it, right? Internship, we just, pair you with a company and you just work there. Nobody is kind of really going to teach you on the classroom side and let you know what goes on. So it's a combination of both, but, we chose to call it internship. And then workshop, because it is more like internship and workshop, also partly because of the duration, right? Apprenticeships are a bit longer, 6 months plus, but this is a 2 months program. And we can assure you what projects you're gonna work on within the 2 months is more than what somebody has worked on over 5 years, right? So it's not gonna be just, this is this, it's something that you're actually gonna do. And for every project, we are going to discuss in a classroom setting, and then you and your team will go work on it. And also one aspect that we focus on is not just on the technical side of cybersecurity, because the skill set that we need when we move from the knowledge piece to the skills, we need two main set of skills in cybersecurity or in IT in general, right? Is your technical knowledge, or like your technical skill, and your soft skill, right? So non-technical and technical. Now, the technical is your technical cybersecurity knowledge. So your knowledge about GRC, your knowledge about doing analyst stuff, your knowledge about third-party risk management, incident response, cryptography, right? And your general understanding of security and how you be able to move within security. That is your technical cybersecurity knowledge or skill, right? Now, when it comes to the non-technical portion, that is where most people fail when it comes to interviews. It will surprise you, even for us as an academy, as a school, most of our students who fail an interview, first time, second time, I can tell you for a fact, it's not going to be the technical cybersecurity side. It's a soft, non-technical side. That is what is going to get you, because you are all prepared, prep, ready to go for an interview, so on the technical side, you are solid. And then they throw a question like, hey, Brian, you are the team lead in a, in a team of 6. Michael is one of the team members. He's not, doing his portion of the jobs that you are doing in there, or he's not participating in the team. What are you going to do about it? All right. What is the right answer to this question? What is the wrong answer to this question? Right. If you are not privy to how to answer it, or you have not worked in a team setting, and you've not encountered such a problem, chances are you try and answer it anyhow you want, but you might not hit the mark, right? So what we do is we put you in that environment also. So you're working in teams, and you are working in virtual teams, and I can tell you for a fact, working in a virtual team is more difficult than working in person in teams, right? So we put you in that situation. You have to coordinate with everybody else in your team, work together. So when during interviews you are asked, or even on the job, when you have to work in teams, like virtually or in person, you have experience doing that, right? If they ask you what is your experience in presenting, maybe like the report, maybe like a risk assessment report to your CEO or to your top management, you actually have done something similar, because guess what you are going to do here also. When we work on projects, you are going to do presentation on those projects, and somebody within the group will have to do the presentation, and we allow only one person to do presentations. Maybe on some occasions, one person can do it twice, but we encourage everybody to participate in it, right? Because it's a safe environment for us to learn and fail. That way on the job, we will be able to excel, right? So I cannot really stress enough on how people have gone through this. And then during interviews, They are not even trying to remember anything from any book, but it's exactly what they did that they are speaking to, right? And there are so many of them on here that I can, name and list. But that really is not the point. The point is to show you that this is, a program that is going to help you really gain that experience that you're looking for, like security experience, cybersecurity experience, information security experience. That is going to help you break into the industry, right? And then also, if you look at the different areas within cybersecurity, what this program is going to give you is the only job title you cannot hold after completing this program is pen tester or ethical hacker. So that is not what we are going to do here. There is a lot of uphill battle when it comes to pen testing and ethical hacking. But what we are doing here, you can do anything from the blue, like anything on the blue side, you'll be able to do, right? So in cybersecurity, we have blue team and red team. Now we have even purple teams and white teams, right? But generally, red and blue simply meaning offensive and defensive. So defensive is everything analyst, everything GRC, everything that we are doing there to help compliance, everything doing there to help protect our organization. And then the red team is your pen testers and your ethical hackers and forensic people. So those people, they try to perpetrate bad guys or like malicious guys. So they try to break into the system, and then they will give you recommendations on what you can do to fix it. So we are not doing anything red team. Kind of maybe probably talk about some of it, but mostly everything we're doing is on the blue team, right? So you are not going to be doing coding. You are not going to be doing none of that. You are not going to be doing exploits and none of that. Maybe sometime down the line, you're probably going to come up with internship for ethical hacking and those ones. But for now, what we try to do is for anybody who is trying to break into the industry, we are going to leverage your transferable skills, give you some technical cybersecurity skills, and then, you'll be able to get onto land your first cybersecurity job. Or even if you're on the job already, this is also going to be a very good added on for you, right? I cannot speak enough about people who are on the job. This is a lifesaver for some of them, because now you get exposed to a lot of the projects that you'll be working on the job that you might otherwise not, find anywhere, right? Because for people who have even gone through master's programs, what we are teaching here, they're not going to teach you in a master's program, or what you're going to learn and do, you're not even going to get that in a master's program or a bachelor's in cybersecurity, right? So for the program, for the workshop and internship, for all our cybersecurity entry-level students, this is an added on. So they get a pass to sit in this for free. For non-students, if you are new to Eretmis and you want to take part in this, it's going to be a workshop. So we are not saying it's an internship, because, internships are for our students. For non-students, it's going to be a workshop, right? But it's the same thing that everybody is going to be working on. Okay. So like I talked about, the opportunity reason why we created this or came up with this program was we saw that there was a gap in, what and what you can do. And most people get stuck at the knowledge piece of the equation. Moving to the skills piece become a problem. And most people think when you get on the job, they are going to teach you how to do your work, like your job. They are not really going to teach you how to do your job. They're going to give you an orientation of what they are using over there, but not necessarily teach you your job, right? So like I tell most people, that I encounter with, it's like if you went to get a bus driving gig, right? You went to the States, you want to drive a bus. They are not going to teach you how to drive a car, right? You have to know how to drive first before you go there. And they're going to orient you on how to drive a bus. So if you can drive a car, driving a bus wouldn't be far from, it's not going to be over your head, right? So you have to first know how to drive first. And that is, you have to know how to work on most of the cybersecurity projects that you might encounter on the job. And then on the job, some of the orientation will be the tools that they are using. You might have not encountered it before, but that is fine. With tools, you can learn it in 2 days, right? But if you don't know what goes into incident response, Nobody is going to sit you down and, go step by step and, like you are in a classroom setting, or you don't have any opportunity to work and fail in any project that they give you, right? So this is a safe environment, like we will call, this is a sandbox in security. It is a sandbox where you test your projects, and if they are good, we move on. If they are not, we will revisit it and make corrections to it. So for anybody struggling to get into the industry, you've done, like you have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree in cybersecurity or IT or any other field, or most especially for people who go through cybersecurity programs, masters or bachelors, and you are struggling to break into the industry. This is a very good opportunity for you to really apply everything that you've learned over whatever period, or even if you did self-study, you have some certifications, right? This is a good opportunity for you to really get the real, the very first-hand feel of working on cybersecurity projects in real time. And we are here to help and support you. And then also for any knowledge gaps that you are going to have, we will be able to help you bridge that also as well, right? So we will prepare you by helping you work on real cybersecurity projects. Opportunity to also land a cybersecurity job. We help you with job placement assistance at the end of the course, right? Job placement assistance is also an opportunity that you are going to get. So we help with resume, cover letter, interview preps, right? We help with all that. And also, even once you're done on the job, once you start working, if you need help, right? We are not necessarily going to do your job for you, but if you need some pointers, hey, I'm doing this. These are my 2 courses of action. What do you think is the best one for me? Those ones we can do and talk to you about it and point you in the right direction, right? And you are also going to, for outstanding interns, they get, awarded some cool awards. So that ranges from you getting vouchers for certification exams, from having the opportunity to get into one of our programs, right? So any programs of our choice. So when you are in this program, what you put into it, we are also going to reward you for it as well, right? So those are some of the perks that you're going to get out of this also as well. So now for the current or the new internship / workshop program that we're going to be starting, it is going to start on the 25th. I know most of you, it was around like the 15th, but that was tentatively the 15th. So now it's set in stone. 25th is when we are going to start it, up to 28th of May, right? And then the next one is going to start maybe probably around May-ish. So for eligibility, who is eligible for this? So like I said earlier, if you've done self-study, you want to break into the industry, you have some knowledge, but you know yourself better than anybody. If you know your knowledge is a bit shaky, and then we move from KSA, knowledge, to skill. So if your skills is non-existent, this is a place to really build your skills, right? And then abilities, once you build your skills to a certain point, it becomes an ability, right? It becomes a part of you. So yeah, you can do that even in your sleep, right? So, but our focus is on the skills portion, doing that rep and repetitions, and that is going to help you really, move into the ability area. So when you get to the ability area, you're almost at the intermediate to advanced level, right? So who is eligible? Anybody who wants to break into the industry. If you've done, self-study, you have certifications, you've done other courses elsewhere, and most especially for our folks who have gone through RMF courses, right? And you still know you have a lot of, gaps, because if all that all that you've studied is RMF, that is not enough to work on the corporate side. Even on the government side, you're a bit shaky if you didn't have any prior IT or cybersecurity background, right? So anybody can apply, right? For selection processes, we will look at you as a whole. That with application, we will let everybody in because you'll start everything from scratch, and we help guide you throughout the whole entire process. And what we are going to also do in this new internship is we are going to let you go through our cybersecurity crash course, right? So everybody is going to be at the same starting point, right? So that is going to be a prerequisite. So once you enroll in this a week or at least before we start the actual program, you should have gone through. We will give you access to a cybersecurity crash course, so you should have gone through that. That way, when we start the program, we are going to hit the ground running. So this is going to be a remote program. We do it remotely, so there is no in-person. We do live sessions, right? So we control the pace. This is not self-paced. So we are working on real cybersecurity projects, so it cannot be self-paced. We meet on Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern to 12 noon Eastern. And what we do is we discuss the projects that we're going to be working on. So currently we are working on incident response. So we started from scratch, what the science behind incident response. And we did an assessment on the current incident response program for the companies that we are working for. And then, whatever they are liking, we are going to add to it. And then also as the internship group, we've set up, or they were supposed to set up an incident response team, and they did tabletop exercises this week. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the tabletop exercises that they did. And there's also going to be a presentation that they owe me from last week that we are also going to work on, right? So it's pretty fun, but it's a lot of work. I'm not going to sit here and make it look like it's going to be some, easy thing for you to do. It's a lot of work. It's very demanding, right? So, but it's doable. Like I always say, it's not easy, but it's doable. But it's a lot of work. You will be able to go through if you dedicate the time and the effort, right? So, but same thing is what is going to happen on the job. It's going to be a lot of work, just like what George was talking about, right? Mostly for most of the folks who land jobs before they finish the internship, sometimes they are not able to go through and finish because now they get overwhelmed with a lot of the work responsibilities that they have. And then combining both becomes sometimes very difficult, right? So because the internship is also a lot of work that you're going to be working on. So if you put in the time and the effort, like Brian said earlier, you are going to make it. And on the job, you'll be able to function in, any of the blue team, job roles that is out there. So we are not going to make it look like it's easy. It's not. If it was easy, everybody would have been a cybersecurity professional getting paid 100 and something, right? But it's doable. So those who really want it, it depends on how bad you want it, will determine how much effort you put into this, and what you get out. What you put into this is what you get out of it, right? So for how many hours, that you have to put into this, for us meeting as a group is 2 hours a week. On Saturdays, and then during the week, you and your team are going to meet. So you and your team will decide, when it's going to be appropriate. So some of the teams, I think they meet almost every day in the week or every other day in the week. So mostly in the evenings. So maybe an hour or two, they will meet and discuss the projects that they are working on. And that also builds that, cohesion between the teams. And also one thing that we promote is networking, right? So you are not just here to do your job and go, but to network with like-minded professionals, who are pursuing the same goals and aspirations. So the networking is also very key, because later down the line, in cybersecurity is broad, but it's small. You run into each other again, right? In different settings. So maybe in the next 6-7 years, if Brian is the CISO for one company, right, then probably by that time you are doing your own consulting, you want some gig, Brian can hook you up because he knows what you can do. He knows your work ethics and all that. So like I always say, we are building an army of cybersecurity professionals ready to go to war at any time, at any point in time. So this internship or workshop is not going to be paid because it's more of a workshop / apprenticeship. So you are learning and doing. So we are still kind of teaching you in the classroom setting, and then you're also working on the projects yourself. So it's not a paid internship. And we're going to move on to what is covered in this program. So like I talked about earlier, technical and non-technical, my focus mostly is on non-technical. Not that technical is not important, but it's easy to get the technical piece of cybersecurity. It's very easy. And then also going into what is technical and what is not technical. So mostly I know when we say technical, most people refer to programming and, coding as a technical part of, or setting up firewalls like George was talking about, as a technical part of cybersecurity. But that is not only the technical part of cybersecurity. Everything within cybersecurity is technical because it's a specialized knowledge. Anybody with no cybersecurity training or IT training wouldn't understand what goes on in an incident response program, right? But in an incident response program, we don't do coding, we don't do, none of that, right? So what you typically call your technical, everything within any industry is technical. So if it's industry knowledge, it's technical, right? But I get it. When people say technical here, they mean, they don't want to do coding or anything on those lines, but the knowledge that you have. So what we refer to technical in terms of knowledge and skill here is anything cybersecurity, which is industry cybersecurity knowledge, concepts, principles, they are all technical, right? So it's not only the coding aspect that is technical or, ethical hacking side that is technical. So for that, but for non-technical, soft skills, all form of soft skills, leadership, management, presentation, good written and oral communication, all those are non-technical, right? And those skills, you can bring them from other industries that you've been working in, right? So you already have some non-technical transferable skills that you can bring onto cybersecurity. And we stress on that more because for some cybersecurity jobs, it will surprise you. They are looking for like 70% non-technical skills and like 30% or 40% technical skills, right? So you have a lot that you are bringing on board. And that is how you'll be able to easily leverage yourself and get a cybersecurity job, right? An example like George, how is somebody who is an RN, he's been a nurse for, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years, will just, switch and in less than like 3 months get a cybersecurity job? It's mind blowing. Somebody might say that is BS, but no, it is not BS.
It's 10 years. 10
years. Oh, wow. Okay, fine. So how can he do that switch really quick, right? And function. Michael, like George has not called me asking about, hey, how do I do this at work, right? He's able to function with what he's like the little we did in the internship. We're not even done with it. Granted, he had been doing some, self-study. He's been taking some other courses, but the climax of all of that and how he's able to function effectively now is because he did this, right? And he's able to switch easily because the GRC side, like what he's doing right now, the technical knowledge is what we've given him, or that like the technical skills is what we've given him, but there's a lot of transferable skills that we didn't give him. He brought it on board from the nursing job that he was doing, right? Because as a nurse, what are some of the non-technical skills that you need, or some of the soft skills that you have to be patient, you have to pay attention to detail, right? You have to be very careful or like very specific in how you do your stuff. You have to learn how to be a good communicator to patients and to their relatives, right? So there's a lot of soft skills that he bringing on board that is required in cybersecurity, right? And that is, some of the reasons why he was able to do that switch, right? But if you are just looking at it from the technical side of the house, you might think, hey, you need to have maybe this number of years, or you have to pay your dues in IT. And if you know how to leverage yourself, you don't have to do any of that, right? You can just hit the ground running because you have a plan going into it, right? And like I always say, it's all about information, if you don't have the information, people are going to mislead you and tell you things that are not accurate, right? But if you have the right information, now at least you know without you even starting anything cybersecurity, you have some transferable skills or you have some skills that are needed already in cybersecurity. So how do you leverage those skills, to easily land the cybersecurity job that is looking for most of them?
I'm sorry to cut you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
I had my master's in IT.
Mm-hmm.
I did my certification in project management. I did my certification in Cisco. I did my certification in CompTIA, but none of it was relevant. It was just not relevant. Even when I told we were discussing that during the internship that one of my intern cohorts in the internship, we realized that the project management was nonsense because it wasn't making any impact. So it was only the internship that helped us. All that certification, even today, my security architect is not certified, but he's a security architect.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, how can you study and just come and you don't know nothing about the job? Because we have one person right now who has, sorry to use the word, bullshitted his way to the job. And now they're asking questions about him. He said, oh, he has worked in the Department of Defense and everything. But now they're asking him to train a junior security engineer, and now they are questioning. There comes office politics. So everything that I do is saying, I'm just so excited, I'm so talking, but it's the truth. So please, everybody take it seriously.
All right, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, George. So yeah, like I was saying, you just have to know how to leverage yourself, right? If you want to break into the industry, know how to leverage yourself. If anybody tells you, I don't even have to speak anymore. George, nurse for 10 years, if he was able to do the switch like that, I'm not saying it's easy. You ask George, he didn't take it easy. It's not easy, but it's doable, right? So you can also switch, but you have to know how to leverage yourself and the skills that you have so far, and then also what other technical cybersecurity skill set are you bringing to the table, right? So, but that is what with this program is going to give you, and we're also going to focus on both technical and non-technical areas of cybersecurity that you will need help with, right, in terms of knowledge and skill, right? So, and also we will get the opportunity of looking at some of the cybersecurity tools that you will use on the job, and some of the positions, that our interns will move from this program and will be able to assume, this is by no means all of it. Security analyst, security risks, third-party risk management analyst, and the list goes on. Incident response team lead, incident response team. There is a whole list of it, right? Any of the blue team job titles you'll be able to do, right? Now for the non-students for students who are not in the job placement, who are not in the cybersecurity entry-level course, this is a paid workshop, and the paid workshop, the price is $3,000, but we have an early bird promotion that we'll be doing for up to 18th, right? So if you want to get on there, you get $500 discount. Now we have installment payment also as well on our website. We are going to post the link in there. So if you are not doing the early bird and you want to make installment payments, you can also do that over time, right? So now we are going to look at some of the curriculum that, some of the projects that we're working on for this internship, and there is more that is going to be added to this, right, as we move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for the projects or the curriculum for 2021 to 2022, but we are going to change most of this as we move along. But for the most part, everything that we see on here is what we are going to do. So week 1 to 12, this is supposed to be 2 months, right? But we are going through, so the 2 months is not also set in stone. If by 2 months we are not done, right, we will finish. If we have to add 2 weeks to it, we will do and finish all the projects that we are working on, right? So these weeks they are not also set in stone. Sometimes you're able to combine week 1 and 2, but this is just to differentiate and let you know exactly what goes on. So mostly for week 1, we do an introductory cybersecurity general overview for everything, how for you to have a better understanding of security and what goes into it, regardless of your background. If you are already working in the industry, if you are coming into the industry as a new person, we will go through this to have some situational awareness, what goes on into security, and then also having a better understanding of the company you are going to work for, situational awareness in terms of the security posture of your company, right? And what really goes into security, looking at the people, processes, and technology lenses that we look through when we are talking about security, and then also looking at risks, right? Overall, what is security about? So security, or everything that everybody is doing, blue team, red team, purple team, black, yellow, name it. All that we are doing is to help reduce risks, right? Help reduce the risks associated with our systems, with everything that we are running. That way, attackers are not easily able to, breach our networks, right? So, and how do we protect ourselves in terms of helping reducing risks is by enforcing our CIA triad, that is confidentiality, integrity, availability, right? And then what goes into enforcing these, we break all of that down, right? So we have a very simple equation for you to really have a better understanding of security, and all the complex pieces, we can group it all into a simple area, and then you'll be able to, dissect and break it down, and you have a better understanding of security. So that is what we do for the first week, for you to have some situational awareness and see exactly where you are. And then also for your company, see where your company is at in terms of their security posture. So we use the CIS controls. We also use NIST Cybersecurity Framework. And then we tried to use ISO, but we didn't. Maybe this time around we will add ISO to it. So mostly we combine at least 2 or more frameworks when we have to do an assessment on the security posture of the companies we are going to be working for. So some of these assessments, most of these have been done already. So what we do is we'll pick from wherever our last interns left off, and then we'll build upon it, right? The very first interns, what they did was they built a cybersecurity program for 3 companies from scratch. That was really awesome. So they built it from scratch. Mostly, very few cybersecurity professionals get that opportunity, right? Any company that you get into, they have their program already set up already. You are just playing a small part, right? But if you are part of the building of it from scratch, that is really awesome, because you get to really understand security inside and out. But still, we try to get you that feel, right? So for week 2, we go through some of the frameworks that you'll be using: OWASP Top 10, MITRE and attack frameworks, CIS controls, right? We go through that as well. And then NIST Cybersecurity Framework as well, we'll go through that. So that helps us with the situational awareness of, so when we say situational awareness, we are doing an assessment on the security posture of the organization. And these frameworks will help us to do that, right? And we are exposing you to all these frameworks because you are going to encounter them on the job. And then also, if you find yourself anywhere that your security manager or whoever tells you, hey, do an assessment of our security posture, and that is all that they told you, you are not there scratching your head. You have a lot of frameworks to go off on, and you know which one is going to be the best option for you based on the company and how they are set up, right? So, and then we move into understanding governance for your organization. So we go through their policies. So everything starts with governance, right? And governance, everything in governance also starts with policies. So we go through their policies, their standards, SOPs, do a review of it. And so yearly, for best cybersecurity practices, companies, they have to do yearly review of their policies, right? And all their governance documentations, right? So you and your cohort are going to be working on this. And also for policies that they don't have, guess who is going to be doing it? You and your cohort are going to be doing the policies, and we give you all the templates that you need. So that is also something you're going to keep in your toolbox. When you find yourself on the job and you have to come up with policies, you have something to go off on. We have most of our interns go some, I think Ben, I'm not sure if Benes is on here, but in Benes's company, she's now the policy lady, because she has really good templates, that she will make a policy and everybody's in love with it. And most of our interns, it is like that because we have the best, not we, I mean, we borrowed it from Sans, but, still we are going to give you that. And we're also going to claim some little credits, although it is not, ours, but we show you how to use it well. So you'll be able to use it really well in any setting. And then we'll look at framework selection. So what framework to choose for what company, right? So we look at these frameworks. ISO, we'll be using ISO now this time around. Previously, we tried to use it, but it was, where we didn't really have the time. I'll put it that way. With 5, so we do. What I also normally would say is that you can't protect what you don't know that you have. In security, one of the basic things that you have to do is to know everything that you have in terms of infrastructure, right? So in terms of technology, in terms of even people and processes, you have to know what you have. You can't protect what you don't know that you have, right? So an example, if you're a bus driver and you are taking kids to, maybe Disney World or Disneyland, and you don't know how many kids go on the bus when you were driving. When you are coming back, how are you going to know how many kids to bring back? You wouldn't know, right? So same thing on the job. If you are the security guy or girl, and first day on the job, second day, or the first week, second week, you don't really have, or like your security team don't have an idea of how many assets you have in terms of systems and, software, hardware, and everything on your infrastructure. People, who have access to what. If you don't have all that, you wouldn't be able to protect your company well. So what we do is we do an inventory or an assessment of the company's assets. And then also we do assets review as well. So that is also something that we're going to be working on. And then risk management, very key. Everything starts with risks, right? So the main goal is to reduce risks in everything that we do. So we go through risks, everything that has to do with risks. So risk management, we kind of really go inside and out. We do risk assessment, risk registers. You are going to work through all that. And now all the frameworks that is going to help you to really have a better game plan when it comes to risk assessment and doing vulnerability assessment is what we are going to go through. So OWASP top 10, MITRE and attack, very key. And then threat modeling, threat-based risks, we're also going to look at all that as well. Week 7, so not necessarily going by the weeks, but we are going to touch on all of these projects. So we touch on incident response, business continuity, and disaster recovery, right? But mainly our focus is on incident response. So every company is going to get breached. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of when, right? So, but what can you do about it? So getting breached, you don't really control the threats that is going to, hack into your system or breach your network. But you can do something about it. And the something you can do about it is having a very strong incident response program in place, having a strong business continuity program, having a strong disaster recovery plan, right? So these 3, they go hand in hand. They are they are what is going to really help your company get back on their feet if they are to encounter any breach, right? So if your incident response program is so good, if there is a huge breach, it will be as if it never happened, right? Because you'll be able to, get back onto your feet or solve it in a record time, that the impact is not going to be as grave as if you didn't have any incident response program in place. So for organizations with no or, kind of a rarely laxed incident response program, even when they get breached and it's not that huge, it becomes a huge, significant, life-changing event for them because they are not able to respond to it in record time, right? And it's going to drag on and drag on and drag on. Example, we've had the Colonial Pipeline, so many high-level breaches where it took weeks, if not months, for them to really, understand what is going on and to be able to solve it, right? But if they have a strong incident response team in place, I mean, if it took them a month, it would have probably taken them a week to be able to, combat this, right? And also business continuity and disaster recovery, also key. They all go hand in hand. We work through this. We go through how to create an incident response program, what goes into it, how to set up your incident response team, and then, how to do tabletop exercises. So you're actually going to do these, not just tell you about it, but you're going to do them, right? And then we also look at automated tools and systems. For our current interns, they are yet to do that. Once we finish with our incident response, the next step is to look at automation in terms of tools, right? So we will go through this as well. And then security awareness training for, I think, our past two internships, we've not been able to really touch on this. For these interns, I think we still have a little bit of time. We'll probably touch on it. But for our upcoming internship, we will find time and work on security awareness training also as well. And then audits, this new internship group that they will be starting this month, they'll be working and they'll be doing some audits, right? So they'll be doing some audits on the previous interns' work and how they have set up the security posture for their companies, right? So you get the chance to also do some audits, right? And we will look into that also as well. And I think these are not all of it, right? But most of the projects that we'll be working on, right? And then also any projects that the companies we are working on will bring up, we're also going to touch on it, right? So what we are doing and what we're going through, even in the master's program, you're not going to go through a whole ton of stuff like that, right? But this, we are not just going to tell you about it or teach you or give you the knowledge. You're actually going to be doing it, and you are going to be working on projects like that, right? So for anybody who is looking for something to really, get your hands on and to really do, right, to help you break into the industry, this is the way to go. And that is not to say, not necessarily to sell you anything. Far from that, we really care less if you enroll in this or not, but it is really going to help you. Frankly, we can attest to that, right? So if we could do it for free, we would, but we did the first one for free because we could, but now, we are unable to really fund it if we have to. So our main goal is to make sure you are successful, right? There are some questions in here. I think if Michael, if you are in, you'll be able to do us the honors and go through the questions for us. And also on YouTube, if there are some questions on there, you can also get those for us as well. So we have some hands up. Bayamon, go ahead. You are muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Dr. Edu, for the presentation. I know the internship and the cybersecurity crash course is part of the PCI DSS program. What advice do you have for a student who is in that program?
Okay, so this internship is not for the PCI DSS students. For the PCI DSS students who started the internship, they know that is different from this, right? So with that, we are focusing specifically on PCI DSS. This is for general cybersecurity, right? So, our focus here is not PCI DSS. In PCI DSS, our focus is specifically PCI DSS. So if I get your question right, you're talking about the crash course. So the crash course in the PCI DSS is what we are going to kind of extract and also give it to the cybersecurity internship that we are going to offer this time around. So we have them also go through the cybersecurity crash course, right? And then the main program. But if you are in the PCI DSS course, this is not your internship, right? You can join this if you want, but I can assure you it's going to be a lot of work combining this and your PCI DSS work that you are doing currently, right? It's going to be a lot of work. So just don't say I didn't tell you. I told you it's going to be a lot of work if you want to combine both. Right? I hope that answers your question, Bayamon.
Yeah, yep, thank you.
Okay, Dinko, go ahead. I think you are muted. Please go ahead. Oh, okay, Eric, I see you. I'm going to give you the floor here shortly. Okay, go ahead, Eric.
Hello, Dr. Edu. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. This is my first time on this program. And then the basic question I have is to be able to enter this internship you were talking about, do I need a background in IT, like probably do the first one, which is a cyber hands-on course, or the CompTI security course before I can join this internship, or from the scratch I can join the internship? So can you please elaborate on that for me? Thank you.
Okay, so for us, our best route will be for you to go through the entry-level course, because the internship is part of the entry-level course as well. Right now, that is not to say you cannot get into the internship even with no background. So you can get into the internship with no background, but then the downside to that is you are going to be doing double the work, right? And what do I mean by double the work? Whilst you are going into this, mostly without any background coming in, you don't understand most of the concepts, right? And the things, although we break it down and, you know, still go down to the basics, you still have to dig in more, right? Because we cannot, like what we are going to go through is going to be a little bit of a higher level overview and to break it down for you to understand, but then you have to still dig into it more, right? To be able to really get warm and fuzzy with concepts and principles and some of the technical areas that we'll be looking at, right? So you can get into it without no background, but you have to work harder, right? If I'll put it that way, as opposed to somebody who went through the entry level. So the entry level takes you from, you know, zero, building you up in terms of knowledge, taking you through all the tools in terms of skills. And then once you're done, when you get on here, most of the things that we are doing, you know, you understand the concepts and the theories behind it already. So it's an added on. And then you also get to now practice what you've studied so far, and then, you know, bring your skills to light, if you want to look at it that way. But you can go through with no cybersecurity or IT background. And I can say that on authority because we've been there, we've done that, right? The very first one of these, like the very first program that we run, like that we roll out for internship and workshop, we had a lot of folks on there who had no background, right? But then they went through at the end of the program, you know, they were solid, good to go. Although they still needed to polish up a little bit, but some of them who took it very seriously, they were really good to go at the end of the program. They could work anywhere else, anywhere as a cybersecurity professional, right? So it is doable, but it's going to be a lot of work.
Okay.
So, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Justice, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Doc. Truly appreciate your time. I have two questions. Number one is, what are the time for the classes? Then the second one is, I really want you to shed more light on the internship and the workshop. I know you mentioned those that are current students and those that are not your students. So I want you to share more light on the difference between the internship and the workshop.
So they are one of the same, right? The names change because of, you know, who we are referring to. So for our students, we say it's an internship. For non-students, it's a workshop, right? But we are going to be doing the same thing. So don't get really confused about the names. So for both, you can say for both it's internship, or for both it's a workshop. It doesn't really, you know, change anything.
Okay, what about the time for the classes?
Oh, the time. So we meet Saturdays, like tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 noon, right? So it's 2 hours. That is, we go through the project that we're going to be working on for the week. And then you and your team will, you know, during the week, you meet and work on the project. So if it's a project that they are going to divide it up among yourselves. So let's say an example, you are doing a policy review and they are like 25 or 30 policies, they can break it down and say, hey, each person is working on 2 or 3 policies. They show you how to do it, or I mean, we will discuss and show you how to do it. So you go do those and bring it to your group, and then your group will present it as a group, right? So your group will decide when to meet during the week. But for us as a group, as a cohort, we meet on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 noon. I hope that answers your question. Dinko.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. If Dinko can unmute and ask your question, if not, we'll go to Bismarck. Go ahead, Bismarck.
Hi, yeah, this is Bismarck. This is my first time. I talked to you the last time, and I make a review about the introduction or whatever that you gave me. That's the free class I just finished tonight, and I would like to take the class. I see Computer Security Plus, that is 2,099. And I want to ask, because after that I saw Cybersecurity entry level course that was also 5,500. First of all, what is the difference between that?
The Security Plus is like everything that is in the Security Plus is inside the entry level and more. Right. So the entry level covers way more than you need for Security Plus. It covers hands-on training where you go through the tools and we walk you through how to build your own cybersecurity lab, and you use all the tools, popular cybersecurity tools that you encounter on the job. So SIM tools and vulnerability scanning tools, and you get to practice with them, right? And then you get job placement assistance, and then you get the internship also together with it. Right? But with the Security Plus, with all the certification courses, our focus is for you to pass the certification. So Security Plus, the focus is for you to pass Security Plus, and then that's it, right? So that is the difference between the two. But you can, once you've gone through the entry-level course, you are ready to sit for Security Plus and pass. You are ready to sit for Security Analyst and pass.
Oh, okay.
All right, Ms. Mark. Fonta, go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. This is for us that are in the, well. This is for me. I'm asking for myself. Well, since I'm in the PCI DSS class, and I want to join this internship. Let's say when the time comes for the internship for the PCI DSS, is it gonna interfere with this one? That's
So for both, it's going to be, there's a lot of work on both sides to be done, right? So if you have the time to combine both, that is fine. If not, you don't want to get overwhelmed with too much work. So, because this internship is intense. PCI internship is also intense, right? So, but, also I will speak to it like this way. With both of them, you are not doing something totally different. They are all cybersecurity, right? So what you are learning here will help you on this side. What you are learning on this side will help you on this side. So, but there's a lot of work on both sides.
I'm not afraid of work this time. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So, Linda, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Du, for this great opportunity. My question is, if you're already in the entry-level course, do you still need to register for this course? How do you migrate from the entry-level?
Okay, for the entry-level students, we will send out the link through the entry-level portal, so you'll be able to enroll in it, right?
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm not sure if Ikena, your hand was from previously, or you have a question. If you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. If not, we will go to Dinko. If Dinko is not ready, we will go to Bolilin. Bolanli.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, go ahead, Dingo.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc. I actually wanted to ask about the cost involved.
Okay.
Yes, the cost involved.
Oh, so the cost for the program is $3,000, but then we have early bird promotion, so you get $500 discount off. And for anybody who wants to do installment payments, you can also do installment payment. Like the link, we are going to post the link in here once we're done, and it will be sent out on all our platforms as well. Right. And also, just to let everybody on here know, we have a general cybersecurity WhatsApp group. If you're not part of it, we will post the link in here. You can join. That way, everything that we are doing, and any information cybersecurity wise that we post, you'll be able to have access to it.
I am not part of the group. I don't know.
You are not part of the group. Okay, we will post it on here, so you can join and also share at the same time. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please go ahead, Bolanli.
Yeah, hello.
I hope I got your name right.
Oh yeah, you did. You did get it. You did get it right. Hello, everybody. I've been getting emails from your academy, but out of curiosity, I joined tonight. I'm already in the industry, so I work as a senior information security engineer. But I was when you were flashing my question is when you were flashing the curriculum, I was expecting to see you list more cybersecurity frameworks like COBIT, ISO 27001, High Trust, GDPR, and HIPAA and all that. Would that be included in the class too?
Yeah, so depends on what we are doing. We don't want to oversaturate the whole group with like so many frameworks that we are just touching on and saying, hey, this is this, right? When we pick a framework, we actually go in depth into it. So even with mostly we try to use 3 or 4, but even with that, it becomes really difficult because sometimes we spend like 2 or 3 weeks on one, right?
Okay.
So mostly we are able to combine, the very easy combination for us is CIS controls, NIST cybersecurity framework, and now we will try to force ISO 27001 on there, right? But if you want to add COBIT, we want to add PCI, then we were just going to be talking about, it's probably just going to be intro. Hey, this is this, that we can't really
just for
depth.
awareness. Yeah, just for
Yes.
awareness. Yeah, just for awareness. Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I would like to join the WhatsApp group if you don't mind.
Okay.
And I would love to share my knowledge. I mean,
Yes. So on the WhatsApp group is open. We have Eric is very notorious for posting a lot of networking stuff on there because he's a network. He's been, like I always tease him, he's been in networking for like 300 years.
Oh my God.
Anything networking is Eric, right? So yes, of course, it's an open forum and we are on there to learn. So anything that you want to put on there in terms of knowledge, you are most welcome to post it in there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll send you referrals too.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. We have a referral program, so we post all the link in there too. So for every referral that you send, if they enroll, automatically our system will get, I think, 5% for you. And then at the end of the month, we are going to send it your way. So referrals are also going to come. They're also going to come with some my commission on the backside as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. You're welcome. All right. Go ahead. Olim John, if I got you right.
Yes, sir, you got it right. Thank you so much. Yes, Olim John is my name. I'm first time. I have lots of questions, but I'm gonna give 2 of them close to the theme today.
Okay.
I'm new student. This is my 2nd month. I'm at your entry level course, module number 4. I've just done it. My first question is about when I was enrolling to the entry level course, that was coming bundle and internship together with. Now I think we're talking about that internship, right?
Yes, yes.
Or is it something extra or?
No, is that internship that we were referring to?
All right, thank you so much. I mean, I hope I will finish that first and then we'll be able to get into that, what we're talking about. Thank you so much. Next
You're
thing
welcome.
is about, yes, sir. Next thing is about, you know, I'm at your level 4 and I see there, sorry, module 4. And I see there model 5 part 1, part 2, part 3, and model 6. So I'm just stuck thinking about where to go through. So should I need to finish all model 5s first, then go to model 6, or how?
Okay,
can you please give me more?
Yeah, that is an easy one. So just follow the modules like how we have it set up, right? So you have to go through, you will skip, you go through module 4 and skip to 6, 7, 8 before you go to 5.
Oh.
Yes. So how we have it
I need
set
to
up,
finish all parts of model 5 first, right?
no, you don't have to. So you have to, you are going from 4, you are going to skip to 6, 7, 8, and then you go to 5.
Okay.
So if you follow how we have set it up, just follow that order and you should be good.
On that order, okay.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell here quick as an extra for other people. I love your course. You know, I love your course, and it's very amazing, and it's very short and well explained, everything in one page. As I can, I love that course, you know. Thank you so much for dedication, Doctor. I really appreciate your hard work. That's what I wanted to let you know. But the other questions, I have lots of questions, but hopefully I will be able to, I'm first time here joining. I'll be able to join another the Zoom, and I will give other courses when I come close to that questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Robin.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Okay. Rita, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Adu. I have a question regarding the entry-level students or like entry-level course. So you recommended the last time that you need to be at 100% to enroll in the internship. Is that changing at this point, or are you still keeping the recommendation to 100%?
No, so frankly, with the entry level, if you're halfway, you can join. Caveat to that is there is going to be a lot of work on the internship side and a lot of work on the entry level side, right? On the course side. So you should be able to combine both. Right?
Okay. So my other question is relating to the hands-on part, the module 5 that your student was asking previously. I know that with a basic computer, you're supposed to be able to load those programs. However, I've discovered that it's not working if you have like a 512 storage space. So maybe you could add that in the course and say, hey, you're going to need at least 1 terabyte of computer space, because I know I've been running around this like a headless chicken for more than 2 weeks trying to understand why it's not going to fit on a 512 computer. No matter how much, how new or how old it is, it doesn't fit, Dr. Adu. So maybe a slide, maybe a slide on your compute on one of your modules could say, this is what I'm recommending. I'm recommending an 8 RAM or 16 RAM and the 1 terabyte space.
Yeah. So the trick to that is you don't have to have all those tools together to be able to use any of it. So let's say you downloaded one tool, right? Let's say you probably downloaded Splunk, you're done using it, you can delete it and then download another one if you don't have space. So that is one way around it. And I think for module 5, for the attachment with the links on it, we kind of stated like the specifications that you need for like the computers that you'll be able to use for this. So, you know, like you're saying, at least 1 terabyte or at least 8 gig of RAM and all that. I think we stated all that on there, but like a trick around it is if you don't have enough space, whatever tool you are using, once you're done, you can delete it and then download something else. So the intent is not to have all the tools on your system, but to be able to use it and, you know, have firsthand, you know, experience of using it. So you can say, hey, I've used this, and not just you saying it, but you can use it in any setting. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because it's supposed to fit in the virtual box, right? So I thought like everything needed to be in the virtual box for you to try out the machine. Oh, okay. That was my misunderstanding. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
All right. You're welcome, Rita. Go ahead, Mavis.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Edu.
Good evening.
And good evening, everyone. I think you've answered 2 of my questions because Rita just asked one of the questions I wanted to ask about Module 5. And my other question also is, for those of us in the entry level, do we have to pay any money again for the internship?
No. So the entry level, the internship is part of the entry level.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Ademola, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Adu.
Good evening, brother. How are you doing?
Go. Where
okay.
you talk to me.
Oh, you are coming in a bit broken.
Say that again.
Oh, you are coming in a bit broken. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Let's see.
You are good now. I can hear you, and I hope everybody else can hear you.
A cybersecurity professional course.
You are still coming in and out.
Oh, what about now?
Yeah, now I can hear you, but then in like when you start speaking, you kind of go off, and then you keep coming like on and off. Oh, you're still coming in broken. Can everybody else hear him? Maybe probably it's me.
No.
I think he's having connection issues.
No.
We can't hear you.
I think like your connection is good because like your video is solid. So probably just an audio.
It's his headphone.
Check his headphone. Check his headphone.
His headphone is a problem.
Oh.
My neck. I'm
Yeah, I think you are good now.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
My dilemma is that I've
he's coming in broken again.
I think he's having a connection issue.
Or he can type the question.
Yeah.
There might be a problem with the microphone.
Oh.
Audio help.
Still coming in broken.
Okay, doctor. So can I ask my question quick so that maybe?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Bismarck.
Yeah. So the entry course. When is the next class, and how long does it take?
So for the entry level course, it is open enrollment, so you can start at any time, right? And like the duration, on average, it should take you 3 months to finish.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Adimola, let's try again if maybe now it's going to work. Still coming in. I think you are muted.
Hello?
This time. Yes,
Hello.
please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Yes, like I was saying, I mean, I went through NJIT. I did it for 11 months, finished last year, October. I did so many courses like digital forensic, incident response, Linux security, Microsoft security, networking, game theory, Python. So I'm just I'm just confused right now. I don't just know which area to concentrate on, and that's why I'm looking for something extra that will help me. I mean, from the way from what I saw about the internship, the way you laid it out, I think it should be able to help. Will that be sufficient, or I should still need something more?
I think from the training, I think we spoke earlier, I think last week, from like the training that you've gone through, I think there's like the workshop should be enough to get you started, because now everything is going to make sense. You are bringing everything together, right? If you learn a little bit pieces here and there, it's like learning how to drive, but then somebody showed you how to, do steer control, and then somebody else showed you how to change the gear. But nobody actually sat you in the car and moved it, right? So you don't know how to combine all of it together. And that is what we're going to be doing here, right? So now you have a better appreciation of, oh, okay, this is how this is supposed to be. So there's going to be a lot of aha moments for you if you go through this course.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, George, go ahead.
Oh, I want to be your salesman. I was going to tell him that I'm in his shoes. I did the same thing, jumping from Microsoft, doing this, doing that. And so you answered the thing correctly, that the internship will shape everything to make sense, and then you'll see the bigger picture of it. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, so are you in this cohort, George?
Yes, the one that with Isaac and Brian. And yes. I've not finished. Like I said, I cannot finish it because now I'm working. I couldn't finish week 7's incidents response because I also have to do my work. So I just wanted to. I felt Adimola's situation of jumping from here, doing this, doing programming, doing all this, and what was missing was the internship. So rest assured, if he does it, I encourage him to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, George. Thank you.
Yes.
We actually did all those courses in that school under cybersecurity boot camp together, and we did about 400 hours of lab work as well. But then I'm just confused on which area to go now. Yes.
Please don't get distracted. Just focus on this internship. I was like you. I jumped to so many courses, and I was asking Dr. Edu the same thing. What should I focus? And he said, just focus on the internship, and that's the result. So just concentrate on the internship.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hello, so I have a question. I have a question to ask you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just gonna second what Ade said. Because he actually referred me to you, and like he said, he had almost 11 months of intensive study in cybersecurity, and most of it were practical experiences actually. So, what is the distinction between the practical experiences he got from NJIT and the internship? What's it? I guess is it the nomenclature internship and practical experience? What is the missing link? What is the difference? Is it doing real life projects, or I'm not doing real life projects?
So here you are doing real life projects. I can't speak for what he did because I really don't know what he did, except what he told me he did, right? So, but for here, we have 2 sister companies that we work with, right? So you'll be assigned to one of those companies and you'll be working on projects for those companies. So like the list that we went through, there are some of the projects that we'll be working on, right? So, and the companies might have maybe something coming up that we also, will have the chance of working on, right? So here you'll be working on real projects, but then we're still going to show you how the projects are done, the science behind those projects, and you go work on.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Joe, go ahead. Please ask your question. Yes.
Oh, hi, Doctor. I was just wondering about the income sharing platform that you discussed or talked about. Is there any details about that?
Yeah. So one is ready. I'm waiting for the other company to be ready, and then we push both of it out. I didn't want to, push the first one out. So we're still waiting on my share. Leaf is ready. So when my share is ready, then we are going to send both of them out.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, everyone. So for the WhatsApp group, we posted it in there. So you should be able to have it. And also for the link to register for the workshop/internship, it's also on here. I'm going to go through the list on here real quick. So Louis is asking, do you have a YouTube video presentation from scratch for internal and external approach? So I'm not really sure what exactly you are asking, Louis. If you can unmute yourself and ask what you are asking. Well, internal and external approach. I don't know. Okay, you are for pen testing from scratch for both internal. Okay, so no, we don't have a YouTube video on pen testing. Or is it okay for you to purchase additional amount of months? Yeah, so Dimitri, yes, you can. I know you are in the PCI course. Like I was telling, I don't remember who. If you want to get into this internship, you are supposed you can do it, but then it's going to be a lot of work combining both PCI and then this. So, but if you are up to the task and you think you can, you have the time to work on both, then you can definitely get there. Rita, okay, so that was a comment from Rita. Okay. Will Python and JavaScript knowledge be relevant on the job? So, Greg, it depends on where you find yourself in cybersecurity. Python and JavaScript, yes, you might need it mostly on the engineering architecture side. And even with that, depending on where you find yourself, but mostly with Python, if you are doing more pen testing, forensics, and most definitely you have to be at least 8 out of 10 when it comes to your programming skills, and not just Python and JavaScript, but Ruby, Bash should be a given, right? It should be a freebie if you are on any of those areas. So yes, but it depends on where you find yourself, but mostly on the blue side, if you know some, programming, is a plus, but you don't necessarily need it. Depends on what you're doing, right? But on the red side, most often you might need to know some programming.
Yeah, the last day.
Please give me a minute. Okay. Okay, Rodriguez, yes, we can speak later on. Do you have to finish the class? Okay, so you don't have to, you can be halfway or like 70% through the internship, the entry-level course to get into the internship. Good question. Okay, so certificates. What if, so if you're outside the US, yes, this is done more so like a workshop, so you'll be able to participate in it. There are no requirements that will prohibit you from doing that. All right, so I think that is all the questions in the chat. That should be it for the chat. Okay, Bismarck, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a great question. Is all the class going to be online?
So the internship is done remotely. So it's going to be done remotely. So online, yes.
So 2 years ago, right, when I heard about cybersecurity, I tried, and it was online. It was my first time that I tried to do online class, and I find it very difficult. I don't know if because it was my first time online, and I don't know what was wrong with me because I deviated everything. That made me lose much interest about cybersecurity. So this time, what would be the best advice that you're gonna give me that would motivate me to join this class?
I'll just say, just be motivated, right? So, like what we are doing here right now, like this group discussion is exactly what we're going to be doing for the internship, right? So we meet Saturday mornings like this. We go through discussions of the projects. And if you have any questions, you can bring it up. Your cohort can also contribute. And then you and your team are going to meet. So it's going to be live online. So it's more interactive and you'll be able to ask questions and stuff like that. So I think you are going to like it because you are still here up to this time when we started. So I think that is going to be your motivation right there. And also knowing that you are not in this alone, right? Everybody on there, you know, you are all starting from scratch. Maybe some people will be ahead of you and stuff, but you know, at least the majority will be probably, you know, somebody on the lines of what you are doing currently. So that is going to be your motivation right there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Bismarck. Damien is going to go, and then we will go to Ralph, and we have some more hands on there. So please go ahead.
Is it me, Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Ida? Okay,
Yes.
Thank you so much for the invite. My question is a bit different. Somebody asked, I think 2 weeks ago, about the PCI DSS internship, the partnership program. Are you still pursuing that, or is that on hold?
No, the PCI partnership program, we are still doing that, but we will start taking on more partners maybe at the end of the month.
Okay, I'm interested in that if you...
Okay. We will send out the link when it's ready for, when the registration link is ready, we will send it out to everybody.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ralph, please go ahead.
Dr. Adu, when does the PCI DSS internship begin?
So for like when your cohort is done with the classroom work, that is when the internship will begin.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Doc. I couldn't get the WhatsApp chat number. The guy, if he posted it, is it possible you can say the numbers if I can write it down?
So I think it's a link and also, okay, so let me,
okay.
Like we posted the link, so you can just easily click on the link and then from there you can join. I'm not, so maybe probably, are you joining? Okay, with your phone is easy. You're just gonna click on it and then does it. But I think Alex posted it here right now. So you can just click on the link and it's going to take you to the, like you can join. right? So the link has been posted in there. Maybe probably we will just, can somebody just post it directly to Eric? So was that all your question, Eric?
Yeah, that's one of them. And then the second one is with the courses you have on the website, if I enter any of them, like the cybersecurity hands-on or the CompTI, without necessarily doing the internship, could any of them help me get a job? Get the idea to be able to apply for a job, or these are just basic knowledge I need to acquire and then be encouraged to join the internship so I can get the skills before I can apply for a job. So it's like 2-in-1 question. If you can help me with that, please. Thanks.
So mostly for like most of the folks on here who are working in security, and also not just in security, but in any setting, right? In security, getting the job, for us, getting the job is not a problem. But what are you going to do on the job? Right? You can get a job all day, but if you don't know what you are doing or you're not able to function on the job, then you are going to lose the job. So for the courses that we have on there, the cybersecurity hands-on alone is not going to get you the job if you don't have some cybersecurity background already. Right. So like the hands-on is for people who are like, hey, I took security class somewhere, or I took all these training elsewhere. I just need to practice with the tools. So you can take that, right? And from that, you can, that is going to be some of the skills that you're going to add to your skill sets, right? For Security Plus, you are taking that to pass Security Plus, and then like that's it, right? But if you want something that is going to be more holistic, then I'll encourage you to take the cybersecurity entry-level course, because that covers the hands-on that is on there. That covers everything you need for Security Plus, and then security analyst, and then it also covers the internship, right? So instead of taking a bit here, a bit there, to come back to the internship, if you already have a background, then you can, once we talk offline, we can point you in the right direction, right? Just like how I think like Ademola was talking about, he's done almost like 8 months of training, right? Now we are not going to tell him to, hey, go start from the beginning, because he has some background. So for him, after talking to him and, getting to know what he knows, we can point him in the right direction. Hey, probably you need to take the internship, or you can take the hands-on and then add this to it, and you should be good. But with no background, I won't just taking the hands-on training. Just getting familiarized with the tools is not going to be enough for you to start working. That is my honest opinion. So we are, like I always say, we are not just here to sell you a course. Either than that, we'll have told you, yeah, most definitely you can take that and you should be good. But at the end of the day, when you do start interviewing or even on the job, if you realize, like they just, like we just told you some air, right? Now on the job, you are struggling, and everything that we told you is not, the truth. Then, when we have open forums like this, you'll be the first person to say, oh, all of that is BS. I'm on the job and now I'm struggling. But this is an open forum. We cannot gag anybody. You cannot mute yourself and talk. But, people coming on here, like whatever they are acquiring is whatever they are using on the job, right? Even if it is not like directly one-for-one, at least it's a very good starting point. They can just use whatever they have to be able to move forward from point A to point B. So for us, our main goal is, what are you going to do on the job? So just always look at it this way. Maybe they like you, they didn't interview you, they just gave you the job. What are you going to do? Are you confident enough that you can do it? And don't think they are going to train you. Nobody's going to train you to do anything. They are going to give you an orientation of what they do, right? And the tools they use. If you don't know a specific tool, they might give you some orientation on it. But mostly, I have some folks on here who attest to this. Sometimes whoever is even teaching you the tool doesn't even know the tool that well. So whatever they know that they can get around with is what they're going to show you, and the rest they tell you to figure it out, right? And if you are not lucky and you find yourself to be the cybersecurity guy or girl, you are screwed, right? Now they are paying you 150,000 to have high blood pressure, and you don't want that. right? You wake up in the morning dreading to go to work. You can't even sleep at night. Your wife cooks and the food tastes like sand in your mouth because like you don't know what is going to happen. You don't want to put yourself in that position, right? So the money is good, but I would rather be confident that I can do the job and be up to the challenge. I can sit at any table and talk, intelligently about what you are like, what you know, rather than just to wing your way into the job. And then now everybody is talking to, like, discussing you during lunch and, talking about, are you really sure this guy really knows what he knows and stuff like that, right? So we are not just going to point you in the wrong direction. Our pride is that we can, meet you down the street or have you on programs like this and you can say, yes, I'm really, kicking behind at work because of what I got from here, right? So maybe hopefully that is a long answer to your short question.
Yeah, I think it did the work. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Sheik, go ahead. I think you are unmuted, but we still cannot hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's good. So mine is not really. I was trying to remind because I believe we're coming towards the end of the meeting now.
Yes.
And I know that you talked about the link for sign up for the course.
Yes.
And this is just a reminder because I see that the WhatsApp link was posted 3 or 4 times, so that you guys don't forget to post this link for the sign up.
Okay, so that is going to be posted. I think we posted it one time. We are going to post it again in here. So the link for sign up, please everybody, that has been posted in the chat, and we're also going to send it out by email to everybody as well.
Oh.
So
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I believe before I even had Mr. Ademola, I already figured out that this course we are discussing today is the right path for me because I believe we've spoken before, and I've told you I have some background in PCI DSS, other cybersecurity areas. I believe this path is the right path for me, this internship. So I believe that's what I'll sign up for.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right.
Marcel, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ali. I really appreciate the opportunity to join this session. I am, for those who don't know me, my name is Marcel. I'm in the current PCI DSS class, and I must tell you, I'm really having a great time. I didn't know there was something like this. I wish I knew it before. I would have been a student a long time. So, Dr. Adu, looking back, hindsight 2020, if you were to do it over, if you were a student coming in, would you say it is better to finish the whole program, complete your internship before going to look for a job? Or would you say, I mean, I know everyone is excited, the money sounds so good, or would you say jump out there and start doing something before trying to complete? What would you say, given what you know now, your own experience?
Okay, so I think what most people fail to understand is that the process that you go through in finding a job, i.e. Preparing for interviews, doing the interview itself, that is all part of the learning process, and that adds to your knowledge, right, and your skill, right? And then also, it gives you some insights into the industry, right? So mostly what I encourage is, if you are halfway through the program, whatever program you are doing, start applying for jobs. The intent is not for you to land a job and stop the program and go work, right? But the intent is for you to test the job market, learn about the job market, see what is going on, what they are looking for. So if you keep going to interviews with maybe this certain job title, and they keep asking you about certain tools, and you have no clue what those tools are, and we are not teaching you those tools, then you know, hey, Dr. Edu, like, what about this tool? Or what about that? or you'll be able to validate whatever you are studying, right? To know, hey, are they just teaching me some BS, or what they are teaching me is exactly what they are looking for, so I just have to polish up on it, right? So that is, you really get to learn about the industry when you do interviews, because you are doing interviews with different companies, they have different requirements, right? So that is all part of the learning process. That is how you learn, right? So for even for people who have started working already, once you get warm and fuzzy with a job, once you are like 6-7 months in, just do interviews for fun, right? That is a good learning process. So that way you are staying abreast with the industry, what employers are looking for, right? What other tools are they asking for and stuff like that, right? And you're also able to test and validate your knowledge and your skill from time to time. I mean, nobody's gonna, ask you to pay money if you do interviews, so it's free. Apply for it. If they say no, I mean, it's not like they're gonna take anything from you. No, okay, fine, just move ahead, do another one, right? I know one student in here, she has 2 jobs, and the second job, she wasn't even looking, she was just doing interviews for fun. They gave her an offer. Like, okay, I'll take it, right? So, but the intent is not for you to pile up jobs, right? But as you are interviewing, you are actually also learning. So for most of our folks on here, I'll encourage you, when you go to interviews and they don't pick you, don't be too emotional. Just move on and look at it as a learning process, right? You are learning from them. They're also learning from you. So you move ahead and you start applying. So as you are doing so, you are polishing up on your interviewing skills. You are learning exactly what they are looking for, and you know exactly, how to position yourself well, right? And you are getting to learn about, the industry as a whole. So for folks who have no cybersecurity background or IT background, it's a very good platform for you to learn a lot about the industry and know what is going on, right? So for like those of you who might be confused exactly as to what I want to do and what, which way to go, you can just pick an area. Just say, hey, okay, security analyst is what I'm going to be interviewing for, right? Now, you also get to know that security analysts in one company, what they are doing is different from what another security analyst is doing in a different company, right? But overall, there is an underlying theme, right? There is an underlying one thing that everybody will be doing, but then there is plus or minuses moving forward. So yes, do interviews. You don't have to finish the whole program to start doing interviews. And also, by the time you are done with the program, you've really polished up on your interview skills. You know exactly what they are looking for. So it's not going to take you as long to land a job than if you are just sitting down and waiting to finish their program. All right, go ahead, Kafi, and Bernard will go.
Hey, Dr. Thank you. So just to add a little bit to what the question I was asking here, I happened to get a job. I mean, whilst I was still doing some other stuff. I mean, and like you said, I was sweating. I'm still sweating, but I'm hustling it through. And with the help of the class, I mean, some things are beginning to make sense. So things are falling in place, and I'm enjoying it. But the main reason why I called is I sent you an email about some stuff. So when you get a chance,
okay,
please take a look at it for me.
Okay. We'll
but yeah, I mean, the class is helping. I can't wait to finish and join the internship and do a lot more there. So thank you for your work that you put together. It's awesome.
Okay, Kafi. Appreciate it. Bernard, go ahead.
Dr. Edu, thank you very much for everything. Like a previous caller said, your hallmark is responding to messages and calls. No matter how busy you are, you always get back. Thank you for that. My question is, I've been in this business for over 10 years and always upgrading. But it seems that if trying to change jobs for higher income and you never get any response from human resource personnel or recruiters. Does it mean probably you might be too qualified for the job or what? I just don't get it, because it's mind-boggling. You don't get any response, and probably because of my background, starting from as a tech, network security, cyber, RMF, and all these. Do you think we should cut down on our experience and all that we know to get in and make the most, or we should just display everything out there? Because most of these people, I find myself in a position where I also hire people to come work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that their qualification is way up there. And so that be the same thing affecting me as well? Just my random thoughts, if you can elaborate on that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Bernard. So for when you're applying for jobs, right, you don't have to do an overkill. So if the job requires you to have high school and you have a PhD, please don't list all your masters, 3 masters you have and a PhD on there. You are going to be overqualified, right? You can choose, and if you don't put your PhD on there, it doesn't mean you're lying. I mean, you have the high school too, so you can put a high school. If all they need is up to high school, you put high school, right? What you want is the job, not to flaunt and show that you have all these, right? But also just speaking to not getting responses, that might stem from so many things. Sometimes when they post the job, they might discontinue with the job, or they might pull it down because they don't have the money to fund that, like that position, or maybe they found somebody internally. So if they don't move ahead with you, maybe it might be that. Or if you don't tailor your resume to the specific job and you're just using just one resume for all jobs, sometimes if it goes through an automated system to pick or shortlist resumes, it's not going to shortlist you because you don't have most of the keywords that they are looking for in terms of the job description that they have. So that can be one, right? And then also you have to know what they are looking for, right? So your resume cannot cover everything that you've done in life in whatever field. So you have to be selective on what you pick and what you show them, right? So let's say, for example, you used to be a nurse, but then before then you were a pilot, before then you were a mechanic, right? And now you are applying for like a security job, or you are applying to be maybe a dentist, right? You're not going to put, if you put on there that you used to be a pilot, they don't really care, right? If you put on, you used to be a nurse, maybe that will help a little. You used to be, but you have to, whatever you put on there, you have to know what soft skills or what skills transfer to what you're applying for, right? So that goes into tailoring, or really making sure you are making like your resume correspond to what they are looking for exactly. If you do that, you tailor your resume to specific jobs that you're looking for, and you don't make it an overkill. If they are looking for 5 years of experience, you have 10. Nothing is saying you have to put the 10 on there, right? Then you might as well put everything else that you've done in the world on there. So if they are looking for 5, make it 5. If they are looking for 4 and you have 6, make it, within like a reasonable range. Just same as if like they are like the money that they've allocated in terms of compensation is 90 to 130, and you're asking for 300,000. I mean, come on. They are not going to look at you and, even try to talk to you, right? So you have to be within a reasonable range. So if they are looking for somebody with 5 years of experience and you have 20 years, don't list all your 20 years on there, right? Because probably whoever is going to employ you will even, they'll look at it and be like, I mean, this guy is going to get my job very soon. I ain't going to pick him, right? And I've been on on boards, and I've been on like in the process of selecting people to come and work, whereby some folks who were selecting people who were going to be their bosses, guess what they did? Like one lady was telling me, hey, you know, like what I do, whenever they go through, you know, like they have to interview people who are going to be her boss, right? And she's an IT lady. You think she's going to pick somebody who is super on point on the job? That way the person is going to troubleshoot her? No. She's going to pick somebody who is going to rely on her, right? That way she's not, you know, dispensable. So if you come in with all your accolades and you are listing everything, you did this, you did that, and you are showing off too much, she's going to be the last person, although you're going to be her boss, but she's going to be the last person who is going to sign off and say you are good, or you're not going to cut it, right? So we just have to be careful with that, right? So you have to be not too moderate, but you have to be, you know, tailor whatever skill set you have to the job, right? And I think like that should solve most of the problem for you. And also for the jobs you're applying for, make sure they are not dead jobs. So what do I mean by dead jobs? When you're applying for the jobs, make sure you're applying for jobs that were posted at least 2 to 3 days ago, right? Preferably maybe even like 24 hours or at least 48 hours. If you don't take care and you are just applying, you might be applying for jobs that were posted 30 days ago or 45 days ago. Those jobs are dead, or even 15 days ago, because they've already taken in a lot of applications and they are doing interviews. So you want to apply and just sit there and wait and nothing is going to happen, right? So all those are some of the tricks that goes into job application. So if you use these pointers, you should be able to get some response back. So hopefully that helps.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Yes. Appreciate that. Bye-bye.
Okay. You're welcome, Bernard. Go ahead, Ayodele.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I appreciate this opportunity. I've been trying to get on this, one of the program, I think it's PCI DSS class, but it was kind of difficult because I'm currently taking a cybersecurity class at ECPI, and I should be graduating by June this year. So, but the thing is, I know this cybersecurity is a very broad field. So I'm actually looking for a particular area I'm gonna specialize myself, and that's it. I don't want to be a jack of all trades. I want to be a network engineer. I want to be a network security. I want to be this. I just one thing to specialize on, and that is where I'm gonna build my whole career.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so
exactly
that is why you want to take the PCI.
See, that's why I'm thinking, like, should I go for the PCI or strictly cybersecurity? I know it's a whole lot of program under this course, so I don't even know which area to dive into and specialize on. That's my problem.
Oh, okay. So I think like once you're done with your course, you can get into PCI, right? Like you can combine both, but it's going to be too much work for you. So like once you're done, you can get into PCI.
Okay. That works. Okay. So these are this program we are talking about right now. What is it called? The internship.
Internship, yep.
So yeah, is this something I can do?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah, you're welcome. Kuku, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adu. I have a question about PCI DSS. I read somewhere that before you become CSA, you need to have at least one of certificates, CISA or something like that. I don't know if I'm right or not, so I need your clarification on that. And the second question is for the workshop. Basically, from 10 a.m. to 12 to noon. So that means we are meeting two hours per week. Then we have to do everything by our own. But when you see all those programs and all those things that you lay out, are we you're gonna send it out to us like the PowerPoint you have to learn, and then learn on our own and apply towards those workshop review, because 2 hours dealing with us and helping us, and I don't know how that works, if they're going to be able to be sufficient for us. So if you can elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yes, the 2 hours that we meet, we discuss the projects that we are going to work on, right? And we show you how the projects are going to be done. So during the week, you and your team are going to meet. If you have any questions, you can always reach back out, and we will do a mini discussion as groups, not as the entire whole group, right? But is enough for you to be able to go through and do it. So you also have to do some work and some research and learning on the side. That is part of the program as well. So things that you don't understand, and you have to also, you can ask the questions, but you have to also go dig into it and do some more research on your own as well. So that is part of what you are going to be doing on the job, right? As part of your duties as a cybersecurity professional is to be able to research, find answers to problems and questions, because the problems that you're going to encounter in cybersecurity, most of the times nobody has even encountered it, or it's something new that everybody from your CISO to the last person in the implementer stack, everybody will have to go research and find out about it, right? So mostly we put all those hurdles in front of you. That way, once you are done, you know, we can say for sure that you can work anywhere in any setting and you wouldn't have any issues, right? Because mostly it's like, hey, this is it, you know, go have, you know, like go and, you know, figure it out, right? So, but us, it's not going to be go figure it out. We show you how to do it. But like you're saying, you know, you are thinking if we are doing incident response, is it enough for us to go through all of it? Most of the work is done by you and your team, right? So we will show you how it is done. Just like an example, rigs, like using the rigs register, right? We go through a class, show you how it is done, blah, 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 but then you have to go sit down and try to use it yourself, right? Practice with it. Try to, you know, put inputs, like give inputs in there and try to figure out, you know, like the setup, the legend, what everything is about. We are just going to do an overview of it. Okay, this is this, this is this, that, this is how we do it. This is an example of it, and then you go do it. So if you have any problems or issues, you can come back. But as a team, your group, they are very supportive. And that is going to be a good learning experience for you, because if you don't do it and we just give you the answers to it on the job, you still have to figure it out. So you want to figure it out here. That way on the job, you know exactly what you're doing. So hopefully that helps. Ademora, go ahead.
Doctor, my second question didn't answer that.
Okay, what was the second one?
The second one was before you get CSA or the PCI DSS, you need to have one of PSA. Yes, PSA. Sorry, you need to have one of those certificates first, like the CISA stuff like that.
Okay, so to be a QSA, that is a whole different conversation, right? I think we have a video on that. Cyber PCI certifications. We went through all the different certifications in PCI and what you need to be able to get those certifications, right? So, but to be a QSA, the minimum certifications, you have to have one general cybersecurity certification like CISSP or SIM or those ones, and then you need one auditing certification like ISO 2700 auditor or CISA or like any of those, right? You need one of those, and then you also need 5 years of experience, and then you need to be working in a QSA company who will then present you to PCI to get qualified, right, as a QSA. So there's a whole lot of steps that you have to go through, not just the certification.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Welcome. Isaiah, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Doom. Good. Quick question for you. So you mentioned that's how the internships start on Saturdays. For the class that we're currently in right now, when will that actually roll out for us? Will that roll out at the end of the month?
For the PCI class?
Correct, yes.
So the PCI, when we are done with the classroom side, is when we start with the internship. So if you've not gone through all the modules in the classroom, we're not going to start the internship, right? So every cohort, will have their own, like they have their own track that they are following. So once we're done with the classroom side, then we'll start with the internship. I hope that answers your question, Isaiah.
No, I just mean like, are we going to be on like a different schedule than versus the others? So I understand. Yeah, I understand it. Yeah, like I know after we're finished, we'll start it, but like in a particular idea, like a time frame.
Oh, okay. So it is going to be the same times that we have for the class is when we are going to, that same time slot is what we're going to be using for the internship.
Okay, so Mondays and Wednesdays. Beautiful. Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Adimora, please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I think you've answered my question on the chat. It was a direct question about the payment plan options that was showing on the website.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. KB, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Edu. So for the internship sections, are those classes recorded? I know you said it's 10 to 12, but if somebody misses that window, is there a makeup session or how do you catch up?
Yeah, so those are recorded as well, and we post it. We use the Google Classroom, so we post it on there. So you have access to it. Once we're done, mostly give or take less than 24 hours, we post it on there. So you have access to it.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, everyone. Hopefully we were able to get everybody's question answered. So we'll go through YouTube questions really quick. How late can a candidate join the internship program? So the internship program, once we start, you cannot join unless you join a new class that is started. Recordings are posted weekly. I think somebody also answered it on here. Jermaine is asking, so nurse, masters in IT, lot of certifications, working as a for 10 years. Okay, George, okay. So that was, what is the last day for registration? So last day for registration is going to be on the 24th. Even on the day of the 28th, if you register maybe early before we start the program, you'll be allowed in there. But for the early bird, for the $500 discount, it is up to, I think on the 18th is when that is going to end, and then it's going to go to the original price. The difference between PCI DSS specialist and expert, somebody is asking on here. I think for that, we will address that. So expert, you are with a specialist, you are going to be an implementer. With an expert, you are training to be an implementer and also to be an auditor. That is the main difference between the two. And then I think that should be it. Can a newbie who did Security Plus go through PCI DSS? Should a student? Okay, so for PCI DSS, if you have some background, if you've gone through, you've done Security Plus and those, you can join the PCI DSS. But if you are totally new, no cybersecurity background, no IT background, we encourage you to go through the cybersecurity entry-level course first. And if you finish, you can start working with that, or you can go straight into the PCI, right? All right, everyone. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you very much. I think we went a little bit way ahead of, we were supposed to stop around 9, but any which ways, the discussion was good. So I encourage everybody, the link will be sent out via email, via WhatsApp. And if you didn't get the WhatsApp, or you are not on the WhatsApp platform, please, you can join. It's a very silent group. Whatever we post on there is to educate you on cybersecurity and information security. So we don't entertain any other, postings on there if it doesn't bother on cybersecurity. So I appreciate everybody's time. Have a great weekend. We will meet again next week, Friday, for Cyber Chats, and for everybody in the different trainings that we have going on, we'll meet during the week. I appreciate everybody's time. If you have any questions, any answers, everybody on here knows where to find me, and we will do well to respond to your questions that you might have. Stay blessed and stay safe. We will meet again next week for another Cyber Chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adu.
Thank you, Dr. Adu. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Adu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Adu.